In the U.S., some states are moving ahead with plans to reopen some non-essential stores and services, despite the fact the number of people who have tested positive in the U.S. for COVID-19 is now past 800,000. We know not everyone who has it has been tested either. More than 45,000 people in the U.S. have died. As Jackson Proskow reports, doors could be open to the public in some places as early as this week.
In small but vocal groups, protesters across the U.S. are demanding a return to regular life.
Open America now! No restrictions!
Even as the virus spreads, as cases and fatalities surge by the thousands each day, they're fighting stay-at-home orders.
It's not a pandemic, it's a panicdemic.
Message received in Georgia, where the governor announced plans to reopen everything from barbershops to bowling alleys by week's end.
We will get Georgians back to work safely without undermining the progress that we all have made.
Progress means 500 new cases of COVID-19 in the past day, adding to the 18,000 cases and 800 deaths in the state.
As I talk with our public health officials, I don't see that it's based on anything that's logical.
Georgia isn't alone. South Carolina and Tennessee are lifting restrictions too.
We have to be able to accelerate as fast as we can and as safely as we can.
Not one state meets White House guidelines for reopening the economy. The Trump administration refuses to push back.
Each of the governors can decide for themselves whether they've reached specific guidelines in specific areas.
To safely end lockdowns, experts have said the U.S. will need to test as many people every day as it currently does every week. But the White House seems preoccupied with a different fight. Overnight, President Donald Trump tweeted plans to stop all immigration to the U.S., a move meant to shore up his base of support at a time when America's borders are already effectively closed. Jackson Proskow, Global News, Washington.
This pandemic has changed our lives in so many ways, but it's also brought out the best in lots of people making sacrifices to help others and giving back. A group of entrepreneurs in Toronto is doing that. They're helping the country that welcomed their families with open arms. Abigail Bimman has more on their Made in Canada solution to a problem facing the whole world.
This is a clothing factory that completely changed operations inside a week.
There's a real need right now to relieve pressure on medical grade masks for people who need it the most, but also that, with COVID-19, there's been the economic hardship, so people losing their jobs.
A small but quick thinking team came up with a plan to make non-medical masks.
I asked a lot of questions about what would you do if you couldn't have first best, what's second best?
The initiative is called Take Care Supply, the masks designed by Anna Maria Mountfort.
There's no designer without the sewer. There's no restaurant owner without the farmer. We are all related.
They're made by workers rehired after losing their jobs in the COVID-19 crisis.
I'm happy for working here.
Everyone behind the project has a unique perspective about giving back.
My mom's from Vietnam and my dad, Ali, is from Iran.
All first-generation Canadians.
My mother's side of the family is Polish, Holocaust survivors. My dad is Chinese, orphaned at a young age. And I think it's really important for people to see how the immigrant community in Canada is the one that's holding us up right now.
I'm really proud to be a part of this because, and to be able to help Canadians. And that's because when my parents were in need, when they were refugees from the Vietnam War, Canada, in an incredible act of compassion, decided to welcome my parents and other boat people when other countries are closing their borders.
The initiative's so popular, they've already sold 100,000 masks. They're for non-healthcare workers, but the need is so pressing, doctors and nurses have been calling too.
I will personally go in and actually prioritize their orders.
The message for everyone: take care. Abigail Bimman, Global News, Ottawa.
There's so much information surrounding coronavirus out there now. We know you have questions. Email your questions at globalnews.ca. Tune in to Global National or go to globalnews.ca/coronavirus now to find the answers.